As a certified divorce lending professional, what advice would you give to a divorcing homeowner and or a divorce attorney?
Great question. So, as a certified divorce lending professional, I help a lot of divorcing homeowners and divorce attorneys in that initial discovery where they're figuring out what their options are. So often we have what we call an in-spouse and an out-spouse, where the in-spouse is desiring to stay in the marital home. Out-spouse wants to be removed. Most out-spouses want two things. Number one, remove me from any liens on this property. So if there's a mortgage or mortgages, get those paid off or get me removed from the obligation to pay that. And then number two, I want my divvy of the equity, right? If we have a $200,000 in equity, I want that $100,000 in equity. And so in this case, that in-spouse is seeking to do what's called a divorce equity buyout, where he or she is going to pay off the existing liens and pull out additional money to make the out-spouse whole. And we see this all the time where, sadly, we have divorcing homeowners and or divorce attorneys skip the step of talking to someone like me, spend months and thousands of dollars in legal and court fees arguing to allow that in-spouse to keep the home. And then they get that court order when the ink is now dry and they finally, for the first time, approach someone like me, and I have to give the bad news that they have useless court orders because the court cannot force a lender to lend to somebody. And if that in-spouse did not meet the guidelines for approval, now it's kind of too late to unwind the court proceedings. If I was brought in earlier in that initial discovery and we sort of ascertain that the in-spouse could not keep the home, could not qualify for that new loan, well, let's tear the Band-Aid off, prep both parties to sell the marital home, pay off the debts, they each walk away with their net proceeds, their divvy of the equity, and maybe I help one or both of them buy their next home.
I see.
But the key is get that information in place, never assume. There are so many nuances in Fannie Mae, Freddie Mac underwriting guidelines for support payments, support receipt of payments, joint debts, and it goes on and on and on.
I see.
Just don't assume. You have people like me in place. And if you are going to sell a home, there's another credential called a Certified Divorce Real Estate Expert, or CDRE. That's a great person to have if you're selling the home. So
I see.
CDLP for lending, CDRE for selling and buying homes. It puts the divorcing homeowner and the divorce attorney in a much better situation.
For sure. Yeah. Thank you for sharing.
Sure.
There's a lot to unpack there.
A lot
for
to
sure.
unpack.
For sure. Yeah. And again, thank you for being here and just sharing your knowledge. And
It's my pleasure.
I appreciate you. So
Likewise.
thank you guys for tuning in. We'll see you next time.
Bye, guys.